Hey, how's it going, everybody? What's up, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be having a quick chat about what Tarkov could learn from Call of Duty. There is a pretty convoluted weapon progression system in Call of Duty, but when I first looked at it I thought that's really dumb. But when I kind of started to think about it, it started to make a little bit more sense to me, and it's actually an idea I've floated in the past about how I would like weapon progression to work in Tarkov. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the game. I'm going to show you guys an example of it if you haven't played Call of Duty yet. And we're going to have a little chat about what Tarkov could potentially learn from Call of Duty. So guys, if you end up enjoying the video, please make sure to subscribe, leave a comment down below, and like the video and all that other stuff. And check out the IRL channel if you want to see some cool stuff that I've been doing in Texas. So all that being said and done, let us get into the game. So here we are in the main menu of the multiplayer for Call of Duty. Now, one thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to a class here that I'm not using. So let's say this Bryson. Let's get rid of this. Now, here you have your weapon select menu. So as you can see, you've got assault rifles, battle rifles, SMGs, shotguns, LMGs, marksman rifles, and you've got snipers and melee. Okay, so how would you imagine that this unlocks for anybody who doesn't know? Well, I would think that we get the M4 first, and then we get the TAC 56, and then we get the Kastov. And as we level up, we unlock the Lockman, we unlock the STB, we unlock the M16, the 74U, etc., etc. That is actually not how this works in the slightest. So the other day, I was like, okay, everybody said the 74U is really good, so I'm going to give the 74U a try. Lo and behold, I click into the 74U, and there is no way for me to access it. But in order to get to the 74U, I have to use the Kastov 545 and get that to, you know, level 13 or something. And then before that, I had to use the 762 Kastov and get that to level 14 as well. And then once you've unlocked these two weapons, you can unlock the 74U. But hold on, it doesn't end there. It doesn't end there. And then to get access to the Miniback and the Vaznev 9K, so the PP19 and the Bison, you have to level up the Kastov 74U to X level, whatever it may be. I forget what it is exactly. But not only that, when we go into the gunsmith here, this is where things start to get kind of wild, okay? So if I go to the stock, for example, right, I've got a lot of these other stocks unlocked. Now, the way you unlock attachments in this game is by using other weapons. Unfortunately, I have a lot of this stuff unlocked, but I can give you two examples here. If you want to get the Mariv R7 stock, otherwise known as the... what is this? The Zenit PDW? Is it the Zenit PDW stock? I forget. But anyway, this stock is in Tarkov. You guys know it. You guys have seen it. If you've played Tarkov, it's one of the early game pretty good stocks that you can get for your guns. Now, in order to unlock this stock, you would think, well, I've got to level up the gun and use it more. Wrong. You have to use the Miniback and get that gun to level 9 in order to unlock this stock. Okay? You following along here? You following along? And then to unlock the Ot Razat stock, which looks like that kind of wireframe stock that you can put on your MPX in Tarkov, you unlock this by getting the Vaznev 9K to level 5. Now, there's also a bunch of examples with this with suppressors. So in order to get the silent fire, you have to get the HCR 56 to level 13. You've got to get the HCR to 13, level 16, level 16. So as you can see, it's a little bit convoluted in how you unlock certain attachments and how you unlock certain weapons in this game. So I just wanted to show you guys a quick example of this and explain kind of my thoughts behind why I think this is a cool thing. So the reason why I like this, and the reason why I think Tarkov is very stale and why a lot of weapons never get used in Tarkov, is mostly down to the fact that you go onto YouTube, you look up a Tarkov guide, what guns do you see? You see the PP19, you see the UMP45, you see the best pistols that you can get at X level, meaning that X amount of pistols are going to be left out and never used. X amount of submachine guns are never going to be used, ever. Because why would you bother when you have access to the PP19 or the UMP? Same thing with assault rifles. What are the best assault rifles? Oh, it's the Mutant, it's the HK, it's the M4. Why would you use anything other than those? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing when it comes down to DMRs. Everybody knows the SVD, worst gun in the game. Good luck changing my mind on that. I'm solid on that. Why would you want to use the SVD when you could just use, you know, like a gun that rocks M80, M62, M61s and just put it straight into an SR25, an RSAS, or an M1A, which is arguably still one of the best guns in Tarkov. Now, what I am proposing, now, a lot of people are probably going to give me some kickback for this, But what if we had weapon progression in Tarkov? Huh? Think about it, right? You start off the game, you get access to your AK-74U in order to get to other AK platforms, such as the AK-74N, the AKM, and, you know, beyond, all the way up to the Mutant and the RD-704. You would have to use those weapons, get proficient enough with them, earn XP to level them up, and then when you level them up, you unlock attachments for that caliber of weapon, right? And then when you get up to the Mutant, there'll be certain attachments that you'll have to go ahead and unlock that are specific for that gun, that will make the gun run better, or, you know, give it better stats, rather than, hey, I'm level 42 now, or level even, you know, even before that. Like, once you get like skier max level, or you get mechanic max level at level 40, you have access to pretty much every single attachment in the game. And even if you don't have access to every attachment in the game, you can still go straight to the flea market and buy whatever you want and put it on your gun. What I'm suggesting is that we do a total rehaul of the Tarkov weapon progression, because at the moment there isn't really weapon progression in Tarkov, there's trader progression. And I think that there is way too much emphasis put on the traders. I think that we should be forced to use certain guns. That way we see more variety of the weapons that we see in raids. And then 1 week into the wipe, everybody isn't just running around with mutants. And that's it. That's all we get to see then for the next, you know, 6 months until the game wipes. Because in Tarkov, if you are clever about it, and you basically only play night raids at the start of the wipe, you can level up exceptionally fast without even having to fight that many PMCs. You run in, you do your quests, you leave, and you just do that and you get your quest done, and then before you know it, you've got level 4 traders and you have access to all the best stuff in the game. And because you've been doing nighttime raids, you probably haven't been running into PvP, so you've been picking up items to sell on the flea market, and you're making a fortune. And it's free. Like, it's so easy once you have done like 1 or 2 wipes to just speed through the progression, get to all the best stuff in the game. It doesn't even matter if you can't buy BP, or you can't buy M995 or M855A1, because you can just run PS in the early game. You can just run M856A1. You can run pretty much anything, because nobody's going to be running around with visors. The only thing that that's going to inhibit you with is when it comes to like scab bosses, because scab bosses sometimes have Alton visors and they can be a bit harder to kill. Good luck killing Killa as well with M856A1. But here is also one of the main points. Ammo in Tarkov, right? There should be a way for PMCs to buy ammo off the traders. Now, the way I'm proposing that you unlock the best ammo for X caliber, right, is, let's say you start with 545, you level the AKU, you move on to the 74N, you move on to the other different variants of AKs, and then you finish with the RPK, which is arguably the best 545 gun in the game. Once you finish maxing out the RPK, the last thing that you unlocked is a ammo supply that you can buy from Prapor, where he will give you like 150 rounds of BS per trader reset. And that is exclusive to you. You cannot sell that. You must use it. Okay? Same thing when it comes to any of the 308 caliber guns. You've got to start off with like the Vepr Hunter, and then you have to move on to, you know, like, just for example's sake, the M1A, and then you move to the SR25, then you move to the RSAS, and then you move to the SA58 or whatever. And every single different caliber in Tarkov would have its best ammo locked behind weapon progression, similar to the way it is in Call of Duty. You have to use a variety of different guns in order to unlock a bunch of different attachments for different weapons. Not only is this fun because you have to grind in order to unlock certain things, but it also forces you to try out other weapons that you otherwise wouldn't bother. Think about it. You hit max level in Call of Duty. First thing you do, Google best gun in COD. And then you're going to find a build, you're going to find the gun, and you're going to run that because that's what everybody else is going to use. But I guarantee you, if the progression wasn't the way that it was, everybody would, like, people wouldn't be trying out all of these different weapons and trying out different builds and learning that, oh wow, LMGs are actually really, really strong. Oh my god, this SMG is actually better than the AKU. Wow, the time to kill on this gun is really sweet. And what it does is it overloads you with options, okay, to where it doesn't matter what the best meta gun is, because once you find a gun that you like, that you've used while you're leveling, you go, oh man, I really like the feel of this gun, I think I'm going to mod it out. And then while you're modding it out, it's like, okay, so I have to go use this gun to get that attachment for this gun. And then you're trying out more and more guns. You're trying out what you like best, and you're finding out like what fits your playstyle better, rather than just looking up a guide on what's the best and then that's it, because it's boring. It's really boring, and it really takes away from all of the work that they put into the game to add all of these different weapons. And I just think that in this case specifically, Tarkov could learn a lot from this. I might be on my own. A lot of people think that the weapon progression in Call of Duty is really dumb. I think it's fun because it forces you to try out different things you otherwise wouldn't. So that's pretty much my rant on it, lads. I just thought that it was worth putting this video together and explaining to you guys my thought process on why I think the Call of Duty weapon progression system is really good and how Tarkov could definitely benefit from it. So lads, if you enjoyed my ramblings, please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that lovely stuff, and I will see you guys on the next video. Peace out, my dudes.